Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, Stefica, for the introduction and a warm welcome to all guests and participants to this panel. I am very privileged to be moderating this panel on innovation and good practices. And just as a short background, we at ELA normally issue an annual call for the collection of good practices from the member states, and this panel is exactly for us to showcase real cases and examples of solutions which are implemented in the member states to bring closer the digitalization to the practical cases on a day-to-day basis. Today's presentation of the good practices selected are chosen from the 2024 Call for Good Practices, where one of the focuses of this call was specifically on innovation and digitalization and social security coordination. We have invited two participants in this course, from two member states, and I will proceed immediately to present the participants. So let me introduce our distinguished panelists. I will start from the furthest right. So Mr. Bruno Grégoire. Mr. Bruno Grégoire is the director of the Union for the Recovery of Social Security Contributions and Family Benefit, known under the acronym URSSAF, from France. In the middle, we have Ms. Miriam Vitulano. She's a social protection officer, also from INPS in Italy. And next to me on my right, Mr. Gabriele Uselli, who is senior official at the National Institute for Social Security, INPS, as well. So thank you all for joining us today. So the purpose of this panel is to spotlight two outstanding practices in digitalization, one from France and one from Italy, that stand out for their innovation, sustainability, and also their adaptability. The two practices developed by these two member states address digitalization and social security coordination from complementary perspectives, and we are looking forward, of course, to hearing more about your experiences. To do this, I will have a set of questions which I will ask to each one of you. So the first question will be addressed to you, Bruno. I will then give the floor also to Miriam and Gabriele to complement and to answer the same question. As the time is limited, I kindly ask you to keep your contribution and your reply to as short as possible. I would say around 2 to 3 minutes. So the first question to you, Bruno. So could you briefly explain your good practices, the one that we chose as an outstanding practice, and what motivated your institution to implement it? And also, perhaps you could highlight what would you say is the main innovation of this initiative. So, floor to you, Bruno.
Thank you very much, and thank you for the invitation. First of all, I'm not the director of URSSAF. I'm only the director of European and International Relations in URSSAF. I'm sorry. I would like to be, but I hope you'll be sure.
So I gave you a promotion straight away.
And I'm very pleased to be invited for this conference tech. So, well, to answer your question, the management of international mobility was scattered between different institutions, poorly digitalized, and inefficient in terms of administrative procedures and compliance, and control of mobility situation and social security coordination. So we had a lot of challenges to respond. So, and at the same time, EESSI was being generalized. So between 20,000 and 2022, our national authority engaged the reorganization of international mobility management. And by centralizing processes, digitizing requests, and reinforcing fraud prevention to URSSAF, the national agency collecting the social contribution of for social security. We also check companies' declaration and worker situation, and we fight against fraud and illegal work. So it was our institution who engaged this reorganization and this digitization of international mobility. So we built our digital tool based on user needs, first of all, and coordination rules, drawing inspiration from existing best practices in member states. We worked a lot by the past with Belgium system, so it was interesting and very inspiring for us. Now we are better than them, but we are happy. So our objectives were the following: issuing at least 80% of certificate A1 automatically, issuing securized and authenticated A1 portable document thanks to a QR code, easily accessible for the clerks and for auditor abroad. And then we created almost 60 algorithms to check the situation of international mobility. And the last objective was to enhance cooperation, international cooperation and trust with foreign institutions by simplifying, for example, an entry point, because we cannot imagine as much as entry point to address a set than the regional organization, for example, in Poland or wherever, because we don't know the organization, the geographical organization of each country, for example. So we created an online portal that enables company and self-employed to request A1 certificate with an easy interface and automated check. We increased the integration and the automation of entering EESSI book and out EESSI notification. And in the same time, we created a database of control called CLAS, the famous CLAS control of legislation application of Social Security, with the integration of EESSI, all the EESSI notification in and out. So that's it.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Bruno, for outlining the main innovation in the system, which was introduced in France, and apologies for giving you a title of director of URSSAF. So, okay, so I will go now to ask our Italian colleagues the same question, and I will ask this to Miriam. So, Miriam, can you share the key features of your practice, the practice you submitted under this call, and what you think are the most distinctive and innovative elements of this system?
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. And first of all, thank you for the invitation. Our good practice is the National EESSI Presidium that deals with the centralization of EESSI services, which were previously decentralized in 23 directorates at regional and metropolitan level. And so this fragmentation had caused some delays and issues due to the lack of standardized procedures and limited staffing resources at the local level. So the Department for Services to the Territory was tasked with offering an operational support to ensure the service continuity across the territory. At the beginning, with the pilot project in 2023, and then with the Presidium in 2024. To overcome this fragmentation, the Presidium is a new organizational solution based on 5 pillars. First of all, training, because the Presidium staff have been trained to become expert in managing EESSI cases. And so the first pillar is the centralization of expertise. The Presidium is a hub of EESSI specialists. And then the second pillar is represented by the standardized procedures to tackle the need for a uniform interpretation of EESSI rules. The Presidium wrote an handbook, a theoretical and practical handbook, to set standard operating procedures and to disseminate knowledge. The third pillar is the network between the Presidium and the directorates, the regional directorates. A permanent network to collaborate, to share knowledge, to share procedures and data. The fourth pillar is the use of agile methodology. We use special trackers to facilitate the case assignment and management, and to real-time monitoring the work in progress. And finally, data mining, because we have a centralization of data at the Presidium. So using this data helps to better detect errors, undue benefits, or fraud. And so these are the main features of our ideas of our practice.
Thank you. Thank you very much to both Bruno and Miriam. No, we have some more questions. It's not over yet. I just want to say that it is very interesting to see that both your institutions have approached digitalization and social security from a different but also complementary angles. I will now move to the next question, and I will start again with Bruno. Bruno, you have listened to the explanations given by Miriam on the system they introduced in Italy. And in your views, what elements do you find most inspiring or also potentially useful for your own context in France?
Well, what I understood, the first thing is that you cannot divide on one side digitalization and on the other side the clerks. And the management, so the training is very important and it's a big pillar. And if you want to build a digitalization solution, you need the expertise of the users as clients or internal users as the manager. So it's what I can support. And I can use, and in this way, we created also to develop the knowledge of the teams, a solution of artificial intelligence on the topic of international mobility to spread this solution across our network, and I think training is very important.
Thank you very much, Bruno. And I will now again turn to you, Miriam. So considering your own practice and what you heard about the French approach, what aspects do you find most valuable? And do you see any areas where your systems could connect or potentially also complement each other?
The French good practice shows that they had a great work in the automation of services, and we think that the adoption, the integration of automated systems and AI algorithms into our operational framework could be a valuable, potentially valuable solution. especially for the standardized cases, to handling standardized cases. Because indeed, when we have cases, this approach would enable to reallocate personalized personnel to manage cases that require a specific evaluation and individual judgment, and where expertise can provide a significant added value. So we think that there are these two dimensions that are the technological development and the professionalization of users, of internal users, that should continue to advance in a coordinated way, both of these dimensions. So that's it.
Thank you very much also for your intervention, Miriam. So what we see here is a great example of how automation and collaboration can complement each other, offering practical lessons for other member states and also for the stakeholders. So together, your approaches demonstrate that different paths to digitalization can lead to the same outcome: better coordination, efficiency, and support for the citizens and institutions alike. So I will now move to the last question. This is the third question, and this question would be a bit more forward-looking. So what we talked about is the system which you have already and what impact, but now looking to the future. So it's important to reflect not only on what has been achieved, but also on where your systems are heading in the next year. So Bruno, I will start again from you. Can you tell us about any planned developments or next steps for your institution in France digitalization initiatives, and how progress will be measured?
Sure. So now we almost automated, and we almost issue 90% of A1 automatically, but we realized that in case of fraud, what can we do?
Fraud, yeah.
If you have false declaration for A1, so we created a new feature after.
Okay.
After a little time, it was a challenge to how can we block the automation of a fraudulent company. So we created a new feature to do that. So it was one of the first challenges after the creation of this service. And now the immediate challenges are to cope with the growing number of the incoming notification of international mobility by EESSI, because we receive, it's just an example, but this is very important. We receive more than 1,400,000 notifications of international mobility with 50 clerks, managers. So what can we do? So this is the big challenge, and we want to develop solution of artificial intelligence to allow to analyze, sorting, and respond to situations in the most automated way with our agent, and in a transparency way, in order to avoid too much work, because it's impossible to face with this number of notifications. But we want to be efficient. The other challenge consists in moving toward big data analytics to acculturate the staff to international mobility. So I spoke about the artificial intelligence. We want to improve the targeting control and effectively identify high-risk behaviors. And we are making efforts to improve interoperability between EESSI, management, and control tools to ensure smooth data exchange between the platforms and proper data processing. And the last one, but not the easier, is our participation to the DC4EU project in order to put the A1 certificate in the European wallet of citizens. So this is an interesting work. Thank you.
Okay, so you outlined quite a number of initiatives, but if I may come back, the first initiative you mentioned is that you are building in your system a component to detect fraud in the portable document A1. How do you intend to do this? Are you linking your system with, for example, the tax system, the company registration system? Are you using artificial intelligence or?
It's exactly what we are planning to do, to use more artificial intelligence. Now we are developing a data lake with tax administration data, URSSAF social security data, international mobility data, and all the history of the control of company made by URSSAF, because we have a special corps of investigation allowed to control data and companies, and to fight against fraud. So we are mixing all of that with the legal framework, because the legal framework is very important. The RGPD is important too. So we are building this data lake. It's almost working, but we are improving more and more with always more data. And the next step will be more artificial intelligence to help the analysis of the situation.
Plus, you have the 1.4 million notifications from EESSI, so I assume this also goes into the data.
Exactly.
Okay. Thank you very much. So now I will turn to Gabriele. So how about INPS, Gabriele? What are the next steps for INPS, and how will you ensure that your system continues to meet its objectives? So the future.
The future. Well, I think that this best practice just the starting point of the activity of the Presidium. So our goal is to enlarge knowledge of the member of the team, and we have the target to make other activities. For example, currently I have just a few members that manage the EESSI case for pension question, because all the activities addressed to the EESSI cases for unemployment, sickness, family benefits, and the horizontal. But we have also backlogs in pension matter. I think that Bruno knows very well this problem with the exchange of EESSI in pension benefit, because we have also the EESSI case for the European agreements and also the bilateral agreements. So we have to we have to organize the job and all the activities, because all the members of the Presidium will attempt to enlarge their knowledge and to spread the knowledge and the activity of the Presidium. And then the other thing, we have to exploit every tools, every application. For example, artificial intelligence to provide to solve all the problem and all the EESSI business, EESSI case that we had in our handling in our daily activities.
Okay, so thank you very much, Gabriele, and I wish you success in using AI to solve the number of pension cases. That has concluded the number of questions from my side, but before we conclude the panel, we still have a few minutes, and I would like to open the floor for any questions or comments from the audience. So if anyone has a question, please raise a hand. I see one on that side. Please state your name and institution before your question, please.
Good afternoon. I'm Andrzej Szybkie. I represent ZUS Poland. As Bruno, I'm not director of ZUS, but director in ZUS, responsible for coordination of social security system in Poland. And I must say that it's really excellent achievement what Bruno was talking about. I mean, this automatic software for A1s. This is the way we are going to go in next years, and I'm very impressed. And I have a question, a very practical question. What was the biggest challenge in your project? I mean, the IT, legal matters, cooperation with social partners. Could you put more light on this issue?
My answer will be very basic and operational. We had a deadline because, as I said, the organization was splitted between various administrations. And the administration was in charge of the management of international mobility, said, okay, the 21 of December 2019, we stop the management of international mobility, 2022, sorry. So it was in 2021. We stopped the management of international mobility. So we had to be ready and to have a functional service for company to declare the situation. And the other challenge was that we made and we drove all the project during the COVID by distance without teams at the beginning. But we worked all together between tech and business teams to build this solution without any camera, without nothing during the COVID. So that was the two challenges. But to respond to these challenges, we decided to work in an agile mode with the MVP solution, and then we continue to develop the solution and the features. So I hope it answers to your question.
Thank you very much to our colleague from ZUS from the question, and also to Bruno for your reply. I will open once again the floor for any potential questions. Yes, one here on the front. Please state your name and institution, yes, so we make no mistake on your designation.
Alessandro Arleti, I'm the owner of a law firm in Italy that manage posting of workers and global mobility. So I don't know if you are in the position to reply to this question, because it's probably regard the privacy of the French government. But anyone is asking or wondering if all this huge amount of data of posting declaration actually reveals data that are sensitive for other controls in other jurisdictions, like tax, liability of the workers, immigration rules, period of stay in the Schengen area, and so on. Because I know that the posting and declaration in France report in the fields all data could be really useful for the administration in order to develop other checks in other jurisdictions, not only in social security or labor law. So if there is the project or by the French government to use this data also in other checks in other jurisdiction or not, or is something that could be applicable. I don't know if you can reply, but because this is very useful also for Italy in the case.
Well, we follow the principle and we try to develop the principle of tell us once in the legal framework. I can answer. We work more and more with tax administration because, for example, the declaration of the self-employed are, first of all, declaration of revenue calculated by the tax administration, and then tax administration send to us the professional revenue in order to calculate the social contribution. So now it's very common and current to work with the tax administration. And the other projects, a big one too, is the obligation for example, for Uber and all worker platform to directly declare to URSSAF all the turnover and all the individual and nominative data in order to directly calculate the contribution. So as it is compulsory now, yeah, we share more and more data between various administrations. But the government directly, no, does not access to this data. Only the operators allowed to do that.
Thanks.
Thank you very much for your question. One last call for the floor, if there are any questions. Yes, one at the back. Please identify yourself. Okay, you read it.
Thank you very much. I'm Vitulano from ELA, Social Security Coordination Officer at ELA. Questions to our Italian colleagues. Within this arrangement of EESSI Presidium, I wonder whether you included in any way level 2 service desk or any other mechanism for tackling and handling either business or technical incidents with the operation of EESSI system and EESSI communications. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Vit?
Okay, by now, up to now, we just put this framework at a level previous of the service desk. So, so up to now, there weren't incidents occurred, and no problem from this point of view.
Okay, so thank you very much. As the time is now up from our side, I propose that we conclude this panel. So thank you to our panelists, to Bruno, to Miriam, and also to Gabriele for sharing your experiences. And thank you all for being part of the discussion. With that, I now hand over to Stefeta. So thank you all for being part of this session, and now we will proceed to the next stage.
Thank you very much, panelists. Thank you, Malcolm. And ladies and gentlemen, as we move forward with our program, I'm very pleased to announce that now is the time for the awards ceremony for good practices. I invite the Executive Director of ELA, Mr. Mr Boiangiu, to present the awards and certificates of recognition to our award winners. This is really a moment to celebrate achievements as we continue to highlight innovation and a collaboration across Europe.
Of all the members of the Presidium. We have also a little delegation here, so thank you. They deserve this recognition. Thank you for your job. Leo, vieni. Mr. Aquino, he was the former leader that launched the Presidium.
Bellissimo.